in certain roles, this might be a very strategic way because of the cost, because of the speed. Nurses, for example, last year we were filling nurse roles in 21 days for our hospital systems against the national average of about 82 days. And that's because there's a community-based hiring events. They're very much speed to impact. So referrals, especially in the early 2000s coming into the white hot hiring market, can be very strategic. It's something that everyone does, and not everyone wants to be strategic about it. But if you are strategic about it and you look at things like cost per hire, time to fill, those are things that become really important. So traditionally, I mean, that's your run of the mill answer. Sherm will give you that. Everybody will back that one up. The interesting thing, I'm going to go off the last thing you were just talking about.
Yeah.
$100 million for a 3-person AI startup. Sign me up. I'll be one of their
I, mean,
scientists.
I don't know whether they've got three people. There were just three
Yeah,
people. There were just
that,
three people in the picture. So
your question was spot on. Like, why 100 million? Like out of the gate, like why 100? Why not 50 million? Right? Not 40 million. You can do a lot with money, right? But I do think this is the trend, whether we like it or not. People are going to be investing, and I will use the word over investing in AI at the detriment of their recruiting team in terms of people. Meaning, and I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, but you will have less recruiters in the future. It's that simple. So when that happens, I think there will be some urgency in competitiveness in keeping humans involved in that process. So referrals are really going to take kind of a place in this new AI world that's kind of different than your traditional. It might even simply a marketing scheme, like a real person's going to talk to you. That's
yeah,
crazy. Like that
yeah,
that will there will be people hired to jobs that are never going to talk to humans. Like that will happen at some point, right?
yeah.
So I really love this aspect of just like keeping the people involved. Like they're people businesses, so having them involved in the recruiting process makes a lot of sense, even if there's not always that dollar sign to draw from it, like I started with.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, definitely. And if referrals are obviously very important, if they're becoming even more important, what are the biggest challenges employers face when it comes to maximizing them or maximizing engagement with them?
Yeah. The bigger the business, the more complicated the business, the more challenging this becomes, right? So we work with a lot of customers that will have hundreds of thousands of employees for a single customer in, one is in 85 different countries, right? So, 20 different currencies, speaking 16 different languages. And this isn't a referral specific problem, but when you're that big, flattening anything and making it a single experience across the board is nearly impossible. So you need very specific ways of thinking of that problem and features to address that problem, and that's really what we bring to the table, right? So the saying like, "Hey, the person in Spain can refer to a job in the U.S." Is really something that hasn't been done before.
Mm.
So part half the time when we're in these conversations, like they don't even know that that's possible. They're thinking they'll have like their separate instances, which is traditionally how people approach it. Hey, we'll have one employee referral manager in this region, one in that region, and these are very large customers, right? So that's the most obvious one that comes to mind. Is like just flattening out the complexity of the business can be challenging without very niche solutions.